Hello YouTube. So this is what my currency stash is looking like right now. This is a weapon that I'm using. Helmet, amulet. This needs a major upgrade. Chest piece, this is okay, acceptable, but it could be upgraded. Boots, these are really hard to replace due to all of the lightning res that they provide. My belt, 1 charm slot, max life, gold res, strength, all good stats. Gloves, pretty nuts. Probably not going to be able to replace these for a very long time. Managed to hit debuffs you inflict have 30% increased slow magnitude, so this actually makes my chill even better. The anoint that I'm running on my amulet is Tainted Strikes. Tainted Strikes give you 30% increased magnitude of non-damaging ailments you inflict with critical hits. This is a crit build. I'm at 50% crit chance, 84% with Eye of Winter. So basically, shock magnitude, chill magnitude, electrocute magnitude, no idea what the fuck electrocute magnitude does, but I am electrocuting enemies. This is a Ice Strike build using Unbound Avatar, Charge Staff, Elemental Invocation with Eye of Winter being the spell of choice. This makes Eye of Winter instant, so you do not have a cast time. The only drawback of this entire setup is literally counteracted by one mod on this staff, which is the leeches 7.53% of physical damage as mana. The bell is basically there's a lot of bugged interactions with the bell, and I will go over them briefly, I guess. So Tempest Bell, Shockwave. Actually, you need to hover over this side of it. How do you do this shit again? Oh yeah, you have to hold it. That's so stupid. Deals 30% more elemental damage per elemental ailment afflicting the bell. So ailments are Ignite, Chill, Freeze, Shock, and Electrocute. I do all of those besides Ignite because I have no flat fire damage in my build. 60% of physical damage converted to the corresponding damage type of each elemental ailment afflicting the bell. Shockwave radius is 2.4 meters. I think this is bugged. Either it's bugged, or when I pop my bell, I'm like, chill doesn't count or something like that. I'm not entirely certain. I know it's always shocked, so 60% is guaranteed to be lightning, but I'm not able to like reliably freeze, I guess, the bell. Eye of Winter is usually popping the bell, and you basically tap the bell a couple of times with Ice Strike. That will then shock the bell because the bell has like 0% fucking like what is it, like ailment threshold. So the bell just gets shocked immediately, it gets frozen immediately. That'll give you power charges in case you don't have charge staff all the way up. Charge staff is honestly optional, but it's nice for clear. I'll probably end up switching it out for something else for single target. And I'll probably end up then also dropping Combat Frenzy entirely because it basically is useless for single target. So I'll end up having a single target setup. Not entirely certain what it's going to be. Probably something to do with curses and like crit damage, etc. But Eye of Winter will pop the bell. The bell has a total of 25 hits, plus the initial hit when you slam it down onto the ground. I believe that the crit chance is based off of each individual explosion, because what ends up happening is, and this only really works on small bosses, not big bosses. Big bosses are like completely eating the Eye of Winter, so I need to get another link. I don't know, for like Pierce or something. I don't know if Pierce is even a support. I haven't looked into it, but basically when I drop the bell and I cast my Eye of Winter, let's use the well here for the bell. My bell is here, I drop my Eye of Winter, projectiles are going towards it, and then after, like, imagine the boss is in between us, projectiles are going through it, and then eventually it lands on the bell. And if the Eye of Winter detonates on top of the bell, it like just instantly like explodes, because that's like 8 hits at the very final thing. But if the boss is huge, like let's say like the boss is like this big, you have your bell here and you then like try to hit it, the boss is just eating up because of the massive hitbox, and then it won't detonate the bell instantly. So small bosses, this works great on, or bosses where you can place the bell behind the boss. So I forget the name of the boss, but like the bone guy with the runes on his shoulder from Act 2 that like comes up out of the ground, and then you have a big circle arena, and then you fight it around a big circle like a donut. And he's like a skeleton dude with the runes on his shoulder. That boss, I have to like put the bell on one side, walk to the other side, and then detonate Eye of Winter, and then the bell just instantly explodes. The bell will do like literally half the boss's life. There's a few reasons why. Rage on Ice Strike is basically a conduit to get more damage. Ice Bite is basically a conduit to get more damage. This is increasing the bell's damage by like 60%. My bell in mapping is going all the way up to like 20k damage per hit. It's 25 hits, so that's like almost 500k damage. And then you add in the factor that this is not calculating for 84%, basically 85% crit chance, or actually no, it's like more like 70 because I have the reduced crit. I'll probably end up putting the thing in that like consumes a power charge to give it more crit. That way it's basically 100%, and it's just gonna be exploding bosses. But if you look at like Ice Strike, which is only doing 31k, it is not doing anywhere near the amount of damage that the Tempest Bell is going to do in like a single second, because I can basically detonate the Tempest Bell immediately, like no questions asked whatsoever. Like it's just dead. So yeah, that's basically all I'm really doing. Everything else is like pretty standard for poor circling build. Another thing that is absolutely insane about this character is that I only have 102 armor. It comes from the belt. So if you are doing expedition, for example, and you see the like monsters break 1000% or whatever of armor, this is like I have no armor and I still have 69% physical damage reduction. This is absolutely crazy. This node needs nerfed. It should be way worse than it currently is. In my opinion, this is like, if this Ascendancy existed in PoE 1, everybody would be playing it. Like, this is more powerful than like Trickster when it's at its best. Like, this is absolutely insane. Yeah, this is just like the most ridiculous Ascendancy we have access to right now, in my opinion. Stormweaver is a close second. And after that, it is Jumbling Legionnaire. But Jumbling Legionnaire has the potential to be better than any other class in the game. I know one Connor, one mana left guy, is doing a attribute stacking for mana, and he already has like 14k mana as of like yesterday or the day before, whenever that video came out. So I expect that build to be doing a lot of damage once he actually like gets everything up online. Also, like, some gems just don't have any like quality effects. Like Combat Frenzy, I have 20% quality on it. It does absolutely nothing. Ghost Dance, I have 20% quality on it. It does absolutely nothing. Yeah, there's some stuff that literally quality does not even affect. So the Ascendancy is kind of debate in that regard. So yeah, that's pretty much the entire build. Let's go into a map. Oh, I also have Raise Shield because I have a shield equipped in my offhand. This is just to counteract the bug that sometimes happens. I don't know why this happens, but sometimes when I dodge roll, and like maybe I'm like dodge rolling like in an attack animation or something, but every once in a while I literally cannot like use my abilities. But let's go into a map. Do backwash T15. One other thing about the map is that I am currently 14 screens away from the starting location. I think distance matters way more than anything else for spawning citadels. I didn't see anything until I got super far away. Another thing that's really, really annoying is that this area, no connection, no connection, no connection, no connection, no connect, no connect. I was basically like chasing this, like trying to find a connection point, it doesn't even show, but it doesn't connect. Like there's nodes over here that just doesn't connect, and like I had to go like way over here, and then if this would ever load, there is eventually like a connection. It's like way over here, but like literally like 5-6 screens or something like that where it just does not connect. And I really hope that the area that I'm in right now does not make me do the same fucking retarded thing to get around it, because none of this connects. It looks like this connects, but who knows, this probably doesn't connect over here. Just really infuriating. But like that doesn't connect, so this whole like you just get completely choked off of like Atlas progression from like trying to go further away is really annoying. Regardless, I am not chasing corruption. I am literally just chasing distance now. I know there's been a lot of crackpot theories out there about like, oh, this is how you chase down towers. I literally think it's just distance. I literally think they took the delve mechanic and they put it in PoE 2. So like in delve, if you go like 300 depth, you actually start like seeing cities. And I think the same thing applies here. Like a distance modifier is being applied. Like I don't think it's per screen. I think it's literally like per node. Like 0.1%, 0.1%, 0.1% to turn into a citadel, like that type of thing. And I think a big thing that players are doing, myself included, was just chasing all the boss nodes early, and like it didn't matter. Like some of them were like close to the starting point, some of them were like super far away, but like chasing down like nodes, chasing down corruption, chasing down like all these random things instead of just going for pure distance. So that's my own crackpot theory. Of course, I'm reaping the results of it because I found, I believe, 4 citadels just by chasing distance so far. 4 or 5. And that's all within like literally like 5 hours of playtime. And yeah, like you can put in a low tier map and just like chase for distance. Like that's what I did. That's why I'm level 85, because like up until now, I've just been running like T7 maps and shit, like just chasing for distance. I will like be putting on like the good precursor stuffs, like if it's like 10 rituals or like 10 whatever, in areas where I think there's a good enough map density and good enough variety, because some layouts just absolutely suck. Like there's a spot on my Atlas where I literally have like 3 auguries, 3 mires, and like 2 ravines like all next to each other, but like I don't want to run like 6 dog shit maps in order to run 2 ravines that are great for delirium, and not like delirium like oils or whatever they're called, but like natural delirium. Like I don't want to run all the shit tier maps just to be able to put delirium on like the 2 good maps. Like that just seems so stupid. Because Mire is like the worst map in the entire fucking game, and Augury is pretty bad for Delirium because it's just a giant donut that you can't even go through the middle until you basically clear 75% of it. So yeah, that's just... There's also a world, and nope, I haven't seen anybody talk about this. This isn't even a crackpot theory. This is literally like factual. I'm gonna use the example of Sandspit. So if you put breach on a sandspit, and the breach is like the apex where it's sandspit is basically a giant U. If the breach is at like the end or it's at the very beginning, which is like the 2 most common areas I've ever seen the breach, and then you clear like half the map, and then it basically shows that there's like 1 single rare up there. You can clear like most of it, and then you can literally just like pop out of it and go clear out another node, or you can put in more tablets to add more breaches, because the towers are like breaches in radius have law effect. I believe that still persists after the breaches are cleared. Like if you fail the map, essentially, it's that mod, if you can reapply a breach to it, it will stay there, as far as I'm aware. I've not been able to fully test it, but I've kind of fucked around with it. Yeah, that bell almost got entirely popped by the... I went through there, it just... the mob moved. But you can tell that like the bell gets destroyed, and you ideally you want to hit the bell a couple of times before you use your Eye of Winter, because your Eye of Winter literally does no damage. But yeah, this build's just insane. Eye of Winter is just stupid. Eye of Winter needs to be removed from the game, like at least the effect that it has. All the sticks are trash, all the armors are trash. I don't have enough. Just defer. Actually, I can buy that, and then I don't need to do the other ritual. The reason that I'm like putting a lot of rituals and stuff in to my Atlas is because I do want to chase down King of the Mist. I personally like the King of the Mist fight. I don't know what any of the rewards are for doing King of the Mist in terms of like, what is it called? Like the uniques that he has. But I just like the fight. I'm assuming it's the same as PoE 1, because honestly there's nothing really that they need to redo about the fight. Maybe he's got like a few different attacks. I've heard of people like getting lost in the Wildwood when that bullshit happens. So I just immediately assume that it's the same mechanic. But let's see if we can show off some of the bossing DPS here. I forgot to press Elemental Invocation. So the boss should have probably died in like the initial burst phase. So I didn't press the Elemental Invocation. I keep forgetting to do that. But that's the boss. That is with almost maxed out bossing points. So really, really easy. I definitely feel like it's a lot easier than the Chayula Monk was. And the Chayula Monk had like 0 chance for improvements and was 6 levels higher than this character is. So there's a huge like gap in both DPS and quality of life that Invoker has access to that Chayula just does not have access to. Invoker increases like your max hit towards physical and all that, and Chayula just increases max hit against chaos damage, which whatever, like nobody really cares. Who asked is basically my thought process. Because wait, why am I putting in it jewels? How I see it is this is good quality of life because you pretty much just guarantee shock. As long as you shock the bell and the bell's on the boss will then be shocked. That's all you got to do. And then and protect me from harm is way more tank. Lead me through grace literally enables like really high crit rate through invocation, and I shall rage, even though I didn't press it until literally like the last like 20%, is just absolutely disgusting. So yeah, and as you could tell, the electrocute buildup was not that good against the boss. And that boss had 0 mods on it, so I don't know if this is actually going to be worth taking. But for now, I'll just go into the mana, and then once I get enough points that I can respec, I'll just respec it and try it out, give it a whirl. Maybe I need to invest in these 2 nodes as well. I don't want to get skill speed because of the attack rate. My attack rate is perfect for rage generation, so I don't need to modify it at all. Hope that explains everything that I'm doing in this build and why it's a lot different, at least I think, than a lot of the other invokers out there. I don't really see anybody doing this kind of a setup. I know Don the Crown is doing some other stuff, like, but he comes on this side and I don't touch this because I feel like any nodes over here is complete debate. It's all bad. There's no good over here. And yeah, I also think that like depending on whatever dagger skills we get, Invoker could also be really, really good on daggers with this kind of a tree. Completely depends on like what kind of dagger skills exist out there. But I'm excited for daggers. Like GGG, just release the other classes, even if they're unfinished. Your current classes are completely unfinished, so just release everything. Like, that's my thought process. Anyways, that's it for this video. See you in the next one. Peace.